Testing. Hello? Alright, I can hear myself. Okay. I'm just going to get started. Not going to wait for anyone because I'm selfish like that. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm streaming SpeedMap 208. I want to explain this a little bit before I start. So, I'm a very selfish person when it comes to Quake. I prefer to do first playthroughs on my own, um, like headphones on in the dark. It's basically a ritual for me, right? I love the idea of recording a first playthrough for people, but knowing, like, even just doing a demo, I know that's going to affect how I play. So, what I say to do is, I'm going to try this as an experiment to just do a second playthrough um, of Quake map sets and have it more of a review template. Um, Again, because I just prefer to have that special first playthrough to myself. All right, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about my map first of all. So this is called um, Washington Jefferson. It's named after my local skate park here in Oregon called Washington Jefferson. All right, so let's get started. Okay. So right here is basically so this is a bowl that at the local park, and I this is a line I usually do a lot is where is it? I go down here, go along this path, um, like so. But there's a part missing here because the geometry is too complicated. So I usually go like this, but I was already at a lot of not keyframes, but uh, corners, path corners, whatever they're called. So I was just getting a little bit lazy, like I don't want to do 40 of them. But yeah, this is pretty similar to what I have at my local park, just modified to be less complicated to create. Okay. Um, there we go. Okay. And so another thing I do want to mention is that um, Greenwood's sewer jam map, how it took place inside obviously a sewer, but it was a full pipe, meaning a circular structure. And it was really fun to just like jump around, and that made me realize, oh, like I want to do like a skateboard map type thing. Because I mean, obviously I do skate. Others, I wouldn't be talking about my local skate park. Um, so I thought, like I might as well just do it. Okay, so spoiler alert, I'm gonna go through the secrets or whatever. So what I've done here is I have this little heart on the path that reveals where the secrets are, what you should do. So the first one is this, okay, and that lowers this down. It goes to this wall, the top lip of it, um, and then next it goes here onto this box, okay, and then like so, and then onto this little box here, which is a funk train, um, and then we go back here again, and then it makes a little loop, and then it goes up this wall. Okay, so one thing I don't have here is this little, it's called a hubba, just a slanted ledge going down some stairs or a slope. Um, because, like it says, I tried grinding this in real life and, like, I fell really hard and it sucked. Um, but I'm glad I tried it, but never again. So, one thing I did want to do is I put all these, I think it's like weight point 0.5. I don't know what the weight and I forgot what the other lighting parameter was, but they all have a red light on them to sort of like point at, here's a secret. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like too much or too subtle, but whatever. So, um, yeah, here's a rocket launcher, and here's this. I forgot who called it this. I think it was, might have been Void Force, the hamster wheel. So you can shoot here, like so. If you get it right, you can just hold down the button and it'll do it, but that's a little tricky to do that. Anyways, like, there we go. Alright, so I don't want to hurt myself. So essentially, like, yeah, this is a pacifist map. Even though you're using a rocket launcher and shooting yourself, I justified it by just saying it's okay because like you're protecting yourself with the power of Satan, which I still think is a little bit wholesome. I'm gonna turn the sound down. But yeah, so there's the opportunity to exit by rocket jumping, or by going through this. Another note is this is definitely modified. I don't have a loop in my local skate park. Also in the README, I have a link to a video of myself skating at this park. So just in case you're interested in looking at what it looks like in real life, that's what it's based off of. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't revealing too much. I like when there's mystery. Oh, I didn't get a secret. That's fine. Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying, which will be a common theme. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm go in reverse alphabetical order. Yeah, I do an alphabetical order and I make a save at the end of each map. Just if I want to explore it from the beginning. So I'm going to change the skill to 1 because I don't really play games in stream. This is my first day of doing this. And the reason I did one earlier today, and the reason I'm doing 2 today is just because I've never really been into the idea of streaming. Like, why would you want to watch another person play a game? That's always been my logic, but now being a part of the Quake community and seeing people watch my playthroughs of my map, I now understand like there's a valuable component to it. So this is Secrets of the Grand Canyon by qmaster, which is a wonderful map. He did it by taking a scan of the Grand Canyon, importing it into Blender, removing some geometry or some sort of modifications to it, and then bringing it into here, which I think is a wonderful way. I think I'm definitely a huge fan of the saying work smarter, not harder, and I 100% back this approach. So I feel like any way to sort of innovate to make interesting stuff, I think is totally valid, as long as you give credit to any original authors if there are any. Obviously, like, stealing's not good. I'm saying this especially as an instructor who has plagiarism issues every single term, except maybe 1 or 2. I cannot stand plagiarism, but as long as you credit people properly, like, I think it's really great to what's this term called? Oh, yeah, stand on the shoulders of giants. Use the tools and knowledge of what you've had from beforehand, and don't be afraid to use it and take it somewhere else. Because there's always the saying like there's no such thing as an original idea. I'm not sure like how much of that I believe, but I do like the idea of it. Like, don't think that just because you have an idea that it's never been done before, right? And so there's this wonderful series of videos, which is now one long video, um, by Kirby Ferguson called "Everything Is a Remix," where essentially he postulates, well, not postulates, he basically like gives many examples of how things are sourced from other things. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the sound volume a little so I can hear myself. Um, yeah, so not everything is like original, right? Like everything comes from a source. Again, like we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Um, we're not just coming up with original ideas all the time, and it's okay to steal. But again, as long as you credit, and what I mean by steal is just like um, taking works that have been existed and repurposing it for your own. Just like how I was talking about um, my use of skateboard ramps um, were inspired by Greenwood's map. I put them the README just because I want people to know, like, okay, like this inspiration didn't come out of nowhere. Of course, partially it comes from me being a skateboarder, and like I've been skating for 20 years, so obviously that's a part of me, um, and yeah, like why not incorporate it into Quake, right? Um, because I have spent a lot of time in the level editor for the Tony Hawk games. I've never really gotten to skate because I didn't have a PlayStation 3 until like 3 years ago or so. I'm gonna quick save. Um, so yeah, like I'm like, okay, I should just transfer that knowledge to Quake that I already have. Um, I'm also a huge fan of uh, like taking, how would I say it? Um, the words I want to use, what are they? Essentially, I'm interested in looking outside of the medium you're working in. Okay, so I'm primarily a digital artist, right? But I like to look at a lot of like traditional drawing, painting, sculpture things I'm not necessarily doing, um, and just sort of use that to influence myself. Because if you only look at stuff within a medium, then all you're really doing is sort of you're not regurgitating, but it's an insular sort of system where um, you just have the same things like influencing each other, and that's, I wouldn't say that's boring. I would just say that it's kind of hard to explain because like I think it's totally valid, and like I get inspired by Quake maps to make my own Quake maps, right? But I think of it more as um, I think it's really cool to um, yeah, to take influences out elsewhere. Okay, so I didn't talk at all about qmaster's map, so I'm gonna load um, my save. Um, no clip. Okay. This is kind of weird because because I've seen a few playthroughs of this, so I don't know if I really have much to add to it. Um, I guess my argument for why it's okay to sort of take existing property and repurpose it for your um, different media. I guess that was sort of my critique on this, but I really enjoy this because, um, well, it's kind of an interesting thing to me because, okay, let me do this. Um, it's really interesting to me because it starts off as like an infinite thing, right? And to me, like having a sort of location that seems like infinite and big, like can be kind of overwhelming, but for me, what that means is it's full of possibilities. Um, I think it relates to information theory, where the more information you have, the less possibility there is. So, well, I like my favorite thing about this map is the start of it, and like, holy crap, this is huge. What am I getting myself into? And the more and more you get into it, the less is surprising, which is true for every map, right? So every map, my favorite part is the beginning of what can this be, um, and and so that's like, I'm not really criticizing that. What I'm saying is like, I love like that, that this map, like, because of the fact that there's so much open space and you could see far, like that just puts me in the mindset of possibility and like what can happen here. So like going to the camp to extract the gold key and murdering a bunch of ogres, um, that's something I didn't expect. Like, I'm not surprised because, like, okay, this makes sense. These set pieces make sense within the context of this Grand Canyon, right? Um, I don't, I'm not sure why I said it makes sense, but I feel like it makes sense just because it fits within the environment. Like, it's not a weird, uncanny use of these tents and crates and such, right? It makes sense within the context. Um, but I didn't expect that. But it's like, okay, like there's that cool little set piece that kind of remind me of Half Life, I think. Um, and then there's this other little set piece here where you fight with these ogres. That's pretty cool. And then you go to an interior. So I really like it because of the fact you start in this big, huge open space. Um, there's less possibility that occurs, but that just means like, okay, like I've kind of conquered this land, right? By murdering all these creatures who inhabit it. Not saying that fiends and ogres and wizards inhabit the Grand Canyon, but this is a simulacrum necessarily. And then we have this, nice little inside set piece, which is like really nice contrast. Like, oh shoot, I didn't expect to have like um, an inside portion to the Grand Canyon, because like there's just so much possibility with what can be outside, and I don't think I know I like this element of surprise that occurs within this transitional space. I think it's pretty beautiful. So, um, yeah, I really dig this map. Again, I love the alternative use of importing meshes in a way that's not usually used. Um, and I highly encourage other people to go for it too. I might try that at some point. Um, but yeah, that's an excellent job. Let's move on to the next map. 1,000 plateaus. So skill 1. I think I need it here and restart. Okay, let me take a sip of my apple juice real quick. Okay. Um, so this is obviously, again, my second playthrough. What I'm hoping to do is like critique it. Obviously, like I, well, it's not obvious, but um, you can probably guess that I'm kind of like a really, really positive person by the fact that I put a lot of smiley faces and hearts in my levels. None of that is a put on. I I'm just I'm really psyched to be alive. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just grateful for everything. That translates into happiness for me. So what I'm essentially trying to accomplish with these, um, yeah, yeah, I'll talk about it right now. Yeah, what I'm trying to accomplish with this playthrough the second time around is, first of all, I think like, again, I don't want to do my first playthrough because I like to have it. I like to ritualize that. I like to make it basically a selfish thing. Um, which, if anything, I hope you take as a compliment, because what that means to me is it's really special to me, and I don't want to diminish my experience of it. Um, so, so the fact that there's a lot of people doing the first playthroughs on stream, um, I feel like, okay, like I'm fine with the fact that I want to do something different than that, because that's something I don't want to do. However, if I was convinced to do it, I would be willing to do it. Um, but the reason I'm doing this is, like, first, like, again, I want to do something a little bit different than the first playthroughs. I want something more like constructive criticism. I'm an art instructor. I've done many, many critiques in my life. Some people thrive on being totally dragged through the mud. That's not me at all. Can find good in almost everything. Um, and and so, like, these reviews, quote unquote, are basically like not like rating reviews. It's just more like, let's review like what I'm looking at, what we're looking at, what we're experiencing as a player, right? Um, so yeah, again, I'm just trying to accomplish a more um, how would you say it? So I've been typing out reviews and posting them on Funk message board and response, but they're kind of short, and it's felt kind of, I would say, insubstantial to what I want to tell people. Like, you obviously cannot be me, so you cannot experience my experience. Um, so I figured out, like, since I'm being forced to teach online, I might like, and I have to stream my classes. I should make myself uncomfortable and do, like, have other people watch me play, like, which is something I don't like. I don't like people watching me play games or make art, but instead I guess I'm being more of a tour guide than playing this game, right? So that's why I'm on skill one as well, because I have a hard time multitasking with anything. Um, so again, I guess just think of me as like an impartial tour guide to what I see. And remember, I'm an art professor, so that's very much going to color my bias here. I play Quake for many reasons, but it's mostly about visuals. I think it's the most beautiful game. I'll probably talk more about this more and more. So this map is by um, oh Nait. I don't know their full name, how to pronounce it, but it's called Thousand Plateaus. Immediately gorgeous. Probably using M- Macon's textures. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Macon. Um, which obviously, like, makes things extra cute. Well, not cute, impressive, I should say. So we start off with this beautiful little room that's shaped like a donut, which is one of the best desserts and also one of the worst health wise. I'm not sure exactly what this, it looks like a giant lantern, but it's really nice, right? Some nice brushwork there. And you drop into this. Um, it, it's always sad, like, hearing that crunching noise of the Quake guy, because yeah, you could pick up a health pack, but did he break his legs? I don't know. I think about things too much. So right away, it's like, okay, I only have one direction to go because I have 25 shotgun shells, and then all three of these directions have a shambler. If I wake one up, I have to fight him. Oh shoot, I woke another one up, right? And that's no good. And we don't really want that to happen. So um, that's like a very obvious signposting. Oh, you need to go here. Okay, so I'm gonna skip these health packs for now. All right. So one thing that's interesting is this texture set. Like, these are really, really, like, low poly um, brushes, right? But like, this rock texture just makes it so much more impressive. You do um, m- more impressive looking maps with doing less effort. So thanks, Smack-On, for, like, woo, for really helping us out here, right? I'm definitely gonna say I didn't put a whole lot of effort into my rock wall textures, like not only because they're in the dark, but because like, whatever, right? Um, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in like the curvature of the skate park. Um, so yeah, these are really fantastic textures. I was tempted to not use them because they kind of feel like a crutch in a sense. But you know what? Like there is multiple colors of each one, so I decided to color code my the sections of my map. So I'm like, you know what? Like this texture set is just so good. Like you could find many uses for it, and I would say like every use I've seen of it has been awesome. Um, Again, I probably might be a little bit too positive for some people's taste, but I have a low bar for what makes me happy. Okay. Um, so let's acquire that. Let's go in here. Let's venture up these stairs. Okay. Whew. I love that effect of um, backpedaling and seeing these arrows or whatever they're called in front of you. And they're traveling at a similar speed. But oh, the staircase is just beautiful, isn't it? Um, Especially with that purplish fog, and combined with this like nice yellow golden texture. What a nice contrast between colors, complementary colors. There's art teacher mode again. But yeah, I just love these stairs. Just I love winding stairs. Okay, and so I headed this way because that's a direction I expect to go, but then I turn around and out come these little fellas. Um, I probably shouldn't say like fellas or buddies or handsome men because it makes me feel not great about murdering them. And I'm definitely using the word murder on purpose because like I'm pretty conscious about like violence in here. Obviously, I'm playing Quake. It's a very violent game, um, but it's. I'll talk about that at some other point. But I'm gonna focus on the levels here. Okay. This is actually like ooh, look at that secret over there. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Yeah, I'm just more. I'm not interested in like secrets and stuff. I'm interested in more like the aesthetics um, of it. Which I'm now that I think about, maybe that's not super helpful. Um, but whatever. I'm just gonna like go by whatever I'm feeling about talking about. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, this is obviously very dangerous. Look at all these gentlemen trying to murder me. Oh, I'm not very healthy anymore. That's okay. Um, ooh, sorry. Okay, I think I've obliterated everything here. So this is one of those set pieces where I like to save right before, like every time I see a quad damage, I love saving it and then reloading it and playing it over and over. I don't know, it's just like something satisfying about it, right? Or maybe that happens. Um, but like, I don't care like if this is like silly or doesn't make sense to the level. Like it just brings me joy to just sort of like obliterate a bunch of stuff. Um, like I think it's a partly a innate human experience where like you just there's like a lot of things you have to accomplish and then you accomplish like a lot of things at the same time. Like just clearing out a room is fun, right? Um, and it's not as fun when you have to like um, murder people one by. I don't like saying that when you have to like accomplish smaller tasks one by one on a smaller scale. It's not as fun, but that initial like rush of just like accomplishing a bunch of things at once is just extremely satisfying. And I'll probably never complain about that in any map ever. So obviously here's um, a way we do this. You know, I'm gonna get in here, be a little bit foolish. I don't know, why not? Give him a fair fight. Well, it's not really fair, is it, if I have a quad damage? I think this is the end of the level, yeah. No secrets. I didn't find any secrets, and again, I don't really care. But yeah, what a gorgeous level with gorgeous trim. Love the trim here with the shapes. Definitely do not go unnoticed by me. Um, Anytime someone uses textures that are not id1 textures, like, it's always going to make me happy. I love it. Even if they're used poorly, just the fact that you go outside of like the established norm to use something slightly different, like, I think that makes a lot of difference, and it brings a nice, a different type, nice different tone to it. Okay, so let's finish that, and then we'll go to this next one. Skill 1, restart. Okay, this is Boldak Boki. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry to whoever this is. This is MortalMaxx. Love this map. I'm a sucker for gradients, and even though it's not like you're not technically making gradients here, the fact that you have these like bright lights here where the lava lights it up to up there where it fades out. I'm a big fan of. Again, that speaks to my like me being easily pleased. But you know what? Like, it makes me happy, so I don't care. Like, look at that nice silhouette of the ogre pressed against the nice big colorful monochromatic, I should say, monochromatic backdrop of the cliffs. Love it. Oh boy. I'm taking the bruising, eh? Yep. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, let me disable these handsome fellas real quick. Love this waterfall. Let me deal with the enemies here first before I talk about it. I'm realizing that this is definitely more of a aesthetic playthrough stream critique thing than like helping people with their level design. Um, I'm sure that's how it will probably always be, but we'll see. Love this. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't hurt me. How lovely. I can interact with it. But ooh, that's so cool, right? Um, it's a tubular lava flow coming from a cylindrical outlet. I don't know what you would call that. Um, but it looks really nice. I like it. And these yellow crystals, really nice. Juxtaposed against this reddish orangish background. Um, those are called analogous colors, where they're next to each other on the color wheel. And then we have these like turquoise cerulean crystals. I don't know if they're stalagmites or stalactites or what have you. Sorry for not knowing that. But it's a really interesting contrast when they're against the black background. Really think it's beautiful. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so now I have a fiend. A really mean puppy. So now we have this. Like, of course, we know that we don't have the silver rune key yet, so we cannot enter. That's okay. That means we go on more adventures. We get to see another waterfall. Oop. Another wizard. I think they're called Scrags, right? Yeah, they're Scrags. Ooh. Oh. Let's God mode and clip out of that, because I'm not really interested in. Oh yeah, I'll I don't mind doing like this WOD Wednesday 5 health thing. That's fine. Let's get God. Again, this is less about. Yeah, I don't really care about cheating. Like the thing is, I want to see this level. Um, and talk about rather than like be an accomplished player. Um, I usually do play on hard, and I like to I do save scum quite a bit. Um, reason being is because like let's just say I'll never probably play or enjoy Dark Souls. Um, I don't really like challenge a whole lot. When it comes to video games, I'm mostly interested in visiting otherworldly places and experiencing like what's possible outside the realm of reality. So the challenge is a lot less interesting to me, but I always do play on hard. Um, but again, because of the fact that I'm multitasking, um, obviously the flow of my gameplay isn't like great because I'm multitasking. I don't mind doing a little bit of cheating. It doesn't rob me of any experience. I just want to enjoy this, right? Um, and I would say like every map here is fair. Oh shoot! Forgot about that nasty Jello. How do we get the gold rune key again? Yeah, so again, every map in this map set's fair, but I'm just not good right now because I'm talking. Um, Wait, how do we get it? I guess we drop down here? Wait, no, that's where I just... Oh, that's right. I have the silver rune key. That's right. Um, so I would... So I'm thinking I should probably be a playtester more often because of the fact that I have a hard time remembering things and I have a hard time reading cues. I can be kind of oblivious sometimes. Um, which is one of the reasons why I don't. Well, not yeah, it is kind of one of the reasons why I don't want to do my first stream playthrough because, like, to be quite frank, like I would still feel silly because I do like miss obvious cues and I do forget what I'm doing or where I need to go, and when that happens to me, yeah, I'm a little bit embarrassed, even though I shouldn't be. That might be on the level designer, but like I just don't like those moments. I'd rather just keep that to myself. I have anxiety issues, so I would be thinking about that. So I won't. But what a nice end. Well, I would say like a dead shambler is not nice, but like what an interesting ending, right? You open this door and we have a dead shambler, which bucks our expectations of like a shambler, a live shambler coming to fight you. Um, but yeah, that was a really pretty map. I really liked it. Um, I'm gonna say that about every single map. I like it a lot. But yeah, another thing which I find interesting is how there's not a lot of like built out geometry with this and the reliance on textures. It sounds weird, but it gives me this like really nice, smooth like feel to it that I really enjoy. Like I could sort of like to me it kind of feels or like looks like it would feel like ceramics. Um, I have minor synesthesia, so I connect different senses to each other sometimes. But yeah, that's one thing I really like about this map quite a bit is like the feeling of these textures. Um, so yeah, all right. Thank you for that map. Um, this one is let's do skill one and restart. Okay, this is Cyclopean Sloth by MarkieMusic, I think. Um, okay. Yeah, like you won me over within the first second. Let me restart. Like look at this. Look at this beauty. Using the sparkling water texture, like to this effect, is just gorgeous, right? Oh my god, like, ooh. Um, oh, hello, MarkieMusic. I love, I absolutely love the use of water textures where they quote unquote shouldn't be. Um, I think that's a beautiful thing that you can do inside the realm of virtual existence, right? Like what's impossible? You can't make this happen. I mean, you could put glass to make it suspend in midair, but like it won't have the same effect as in Quake, where it's just like magical. And the funny thing is, like when you're playing Quake, like you know how surreal this is, but you're just like, okay, like here's some floating water. Sure, I'll go along with it. You don't like question. I mean, you might question the motives of the author. Okay, maybe this is weird. Maybe this is otherworldly, but like being that this is Quake and you're doing interdimensional travel, like you've come to expect these kind of things. Like, what the hell is the designer doing? No, you don't. You don't really think about that too much. You just like, okay, we're in a realm where this is a possibility, where water can float like this. That was a really nice touch to put on the text "blind the beast," because normally don't like to shoot stained glass windows. Like there's secrets behind them sometimes, but um, I don't know. Like I've most of the time there's not, from my experience, and this is like a nice mouth, like cavern with all these teeth. Like look at this geometry. Uh, I love when there's um, like standard shapes like cones and they're bent like that. Um, Creates a sense of unevenness. You know, like things aren't normal. Oh, and this encounter is fun. Oh, first of all, I should say that you're if you haven't played this yet, there's obviously going to be spoilers, but I guess if you're watching the stream of someone else playing the game, you're fine with that. Um, I'm very very anti that. Like I refuse to watch streams about maps before I play them because I want to experience it for the first time with virgin eyes and ears and such. Okay, so we come from this beautiful interior where we blind the beast. We turn this light off, make it completely blue. Besides these full bright reds, and then we come into this like bigger area. Like I really like these sort of vistas. Vista meaning like a large view that's cut off at the top and bottom, like so, where you're like from the inside of a place, like looking out to it, right? Because again, it has that sense of like, okay, what am I gonna see when I get closer to the edge, right? And oh my god, like look at this, look how gorgeous this is. Um, I don't know, like it's just like you don't see too many like blues, like bright glowing blues in Quake. So this is like a treat, especially since um, blues that are on the lighter side of the spectrum. That's my favorite. I love light blues. Okay, so my natural instincts to go to the left. Um, Whenever it comes to mazes and such, I take every left there is. In case you don't know, within labyrinths, like most of the time, it'll work out where you can take every left and you'll make it out. Okay, unless there's like centerpieces where they're circular. So I take every left. Okay, so now it's a battle. Let me concentrate a little. Actually, they're infighting. They're mad at each other for whatever reason. Retaliation, revenge, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It's not something I necessarily like as a concept, um, but you know, this is Quake. We can suspend our ethics for a little bit, right? Like I'm normally not into using a gun to shoot things, but you know, again, this is Quake, and for me, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take because Quake is, to me, the most gorgeous game there is. Okay, That was thankfully an easy fight for the stream because I died once or twice during my hard skill playthrough. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely not as astute with my playing when I'm streaming, so this is something I'll have to get used to. But it's a nice challenge. Again, like I'm not really into streaming a whole lot, and so doing this is a nice challenge for myself. Um, Shadler dance. All right. Yeah, Shamblers used to be like the scariest things on the planet, but not so much anymore, which makes me kind of sad. Yeah, I'll probably talk more about like the effect that Quake had on me during my first playthrough, which took me about a month. It was very, very scary. Oh my god. So that was pretty cool because like again I played this either yesterday or 2 days ago, but I forgot that was happening. So that was really nice to have that unexpected surprise. Oh, my player character is not very healthy. I say so. We'll just continue. We'll see what happens. Um, yeah, I like the continuation of the theme of having these like these suspended water trims here. Love it, love it, love it. That's like on my very first map, there's like literally no textures besides the sky texture because I wanted to avoid texturing because I was afraid of it. And now that I've been doing minimal texturing, I'm definitely gonna say it's minimal texturing. Like I really appreciate the amount of effort people put into their textures. Like truly, truly, truly. I don't have the patience for that yet, but hopefully someday I will. Let's get these beasties in fighting. Actually, no, that could be kind of boring. So what I was, whoopsie daisies. So what I was doing with my first playthrough, um, I just had them all in fight or whatever, and I had these, oh shoot, and I had these shamblers in fighting each other to the death, and it was kind of fun. Like it took a long time, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, but it was a lot of fun just like making the vorballs go back and forth. So let's get rid of these vorballs. There we go. Yeah, just like doing that is kind of funny. Um, okay. Yeah, let's see if I can outrun these vorballs down here. I wonder if they're like seeking me out still. I can't see them, so no, so that's a good thing. Okay. All right, so now oh, I love this fight. So now we come into this arena. Being that we have all these supplies here, obviously something's going down. We're trained. God, like, I don't know how intentional this was, but I love how this happens, where they just like stand on each other. Um, it's like this goofy kind of like human pyramid thing, right? Like I love it. Like I don't mind suspending like my belief of like being scared. Like when errors like this happen, that obvious explain. Okay, this is the Quake engine. Here's these collision boxes that are being like weird things are happening that probably shouldn't be happening. Sometimes I love being taken out of the moment and becoming aware of like, oh, I'm playing Quake from 1996. Oh shoot. Um, and that's one of those moments. So it was like really cool. It's like Jenga, right? Um, I was gonna say that we could do Jenga and Quake, but that probably wouldn't work practically. Um, that was a nice short little encounter. Definitely saving right now because I know what's next. These scary boys. Or they're probably genderless. I shouldn't attribute gender to them. But I guess like the word boys is just being used in general sense nowadays, so I'm sure it's fine. my blobby buddies that I just destroyed. Ooh, love this unlocking system. Like so simple, but it feels so grandiose. Like it feels Zelda like, um, like like you're in the ice temple, right? Like you're pressing down this grand button where this like water's floating. It should be ice because like water doesn't stand like this, but we can see it floating. So that's like a really bizarre form of cognitive dissonance, right? Because because there's all these ice. Um, I don't know what let's just call them icicles. I know they're not icicles. Um, I did not find the secret in any of the wings. I'm sorry. Like I have a hard time. Like I forget to look at the chat. I'm not sure if that was the left wing or right wing. That's MarkieMusic on chat talking to me. Um, I have a short attention span, so I forgot what I was saying. But probably something about how awesome these are. Um, one of the fingers is made of water. Okay, so is it this wing? One of the fingers is made of water. What do you? Oh, like up here? Is this what you mean? Um. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna save. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, that was unsuccessful. Probably have to do this. I okay. Okay. Um. Oh boy. Let's no clip into onto the water. Let's pretend I jumped onto the water. Oh, what happened? I'm not really an observant person. I'm definitely more. God. Okay. I'm just gonna no clip into it. I'm definitely more of a macro person. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Um, let's look at that. Okay, like what a trickster, right? It's so similarly incorporated, like visually, but there's this like subtlety of the movement that I didn't notice. Um, even if I did notice, I'd probably just think, "Oh, that's cool." Again, I'm very much a big picture type of person. I don't really look for details unless I'm specifically secret hunting, um, which I don't usually do. The reason I don't secret hunt is because like I'm too excited to get to the next map, um, and I've only been playing Quake for about a year and a half, so there's like 20 years of maps that I want to play. Um, Also, I just kind of not that good at secrets. Again, like I'm kind of blind to obviousness sometimes, um, as that happens. So yeah, and I'm fine with that. S- like when I did the id1 Quake playthrough for the second time on hard, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get all the secrets, but I had to resort to using guides and such. So, which I'm okay with. Like I don't care about cheating or anything. Um, like I just want to see things. Um, I'm just gonna ignore these buddies. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I'm just gonna do God because I don't want to like be dying a bunch of times. Um, again, I don't care. But yeah, this was a fun sequence, especially with the blobbers, right? Um, very scary and unpredictable. Oh yeah, gotta shoot that buddy. And then yeah, let me force this man to pass away. Oh, I kind of feel bad killing the shamblers because they're like, oh, and I feel like, oh, they probably have feelings and such, but Oh my gosh, what a beautiful map. Love. So I'm. So there's one design trope called Blorange, which is generally regarded as lazy, which is like using blue and orange for easy complementary colors. I don't care about that. I love Blorange, and I don't think it's lazy. I think like it's effective and useful. That's Robert Yang saying that. I agree with a lot of his stuff, but not necessarily that, and that's okay. But what I love is the contrast. Like, it's not like super bright, like orange, right? There's like nice muted orange against these like very vibrant blues. So it's a nice contrast, even though they're complementary colors and they should be sort of like vibrating against each other because of the fact that the orange is more subtle and subdued. It's way more nice and pleasant, right? Instead of having this really intense feeling. So, and gotta love this water exit, not the standard teleporter texture. Awesome. Like, love the reoccurring motifs around. So, great map. Um, awesome. So, thank you for that. Thanks for being here on the stream. All right. So, Lil Canyon by JCR. Let's do skill 1 and restart. Okay. Immediately a fan. Like, you have this. Right away in your vision, you see yourself dropping from this rope. Um, cool. That's just like a really cool implementation of that. And I'm a huge fan of like areas that are nothing like id1 maps. Like, it's just cool that we have like the tools to do this. And I'm like really grateful for John Carmack saying like we need to open source everything. I'm not sure if John Romero was on the same boat. I can't remember, but like I'm just so grateful for that because then we have like really cool stuff like this, and that's fantastic. Hello, buddy. And of course, this is reminiscent of Half-Life. I better save here because I don't trust myself. There we go. Reminiscent of Half-Life Surface Tension, I believe. Oh, yeah, this music that kicks in. I don't know who the artist is. I didn't look at the README. Oh, I think it's Nine Inch Nails, maybe from the recently released Ghost or something. I was watching JCR's stream last night and he was talking about this map, so I feel kind of a cheater. But at the same time, these are my own opinions, right? Which are just as valid as the creators. Oh, that's sad. Oh, poor guy. I shouldn't feel sad for it. It's just some code, right? Code and polygons and pixels. Also, I wouldn't have known about the secret if I didn't see him do this. Yeah, going from a really nice, bountiful expanse to a cave inside, lovely. And it's nice use of different warm colors of the yellow and the orange and the red, And then we have this brown, which by contrast with this red looks a little bit cooler than it actually is because brown is a warm color. So, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. So yeah, this track is so beautiful. I'm not exactly sure if it like really fits with the level theme though. I feel like maybe the map is a bit too like visually bright for it. But again, that has to do with my synesthesia, right? Or my synesthesia light. Where like things I make things match. And this seems like a more like I would say like blue, light gray type of level that this song would go towards. So, but again, that's just my opinion. Colors are very, very subjective, and feelings and tones are very subjective as well. But that's just what I feel about it. But the cool thing is like um, it prompts me to like think about, okay, like I should think about music choices in my maps more, right? Um, I just incorporated a standard map track into my last one because um, I'm sure like the answer is obvious, but like I don't know what the music usage is for Quake since this is like non-commercial, and I'm obviously not gonna try to sell like these speed maps. Um, but I'd like to use like some tracks. I just don't know like what's okay and what's not. I just had to remember to look them up. Um, yeah, so otherwise like there's a lot of music I could use because I'm obsessed with music. Like not of course like everyone loves music. No, I've met a few people who think, oh, music's fine, but I'm obsessed with like finding new music, and so I'm on Bandcamp all the time looking for new stuff, and I think it'd be cool to use their stuff, but I don't know about permission and stuff, and I'm kind of like too nervous to ask the artists and stuff. And being that they're speed maps, um, I'm not really like ready to like choose a song by the time I'm finished because I'm usually like at the deadline. So this is the end. I want to do a quick overview. God, this track is beautiful. Um, Again, this is just like qmasters in the sense that like when we start off here, like wow, this is like vast and there's so much possibility, you know. And then you see this cliff over here, and it's like holy crap, this map is big. But the more you explore it, the smaller it gets, and the more like you accomplish, right? And so you're making these like huge things seem like manageable, which is a really nice feeling of accomplishment. Um, and I really like that. And yeah, JCR has used like pulleys and stuff like that, and really cool. I really enjoy the use of that. So I was on the stream last night, and he was talking about this map. Um, I forgot the exact thing he said, but like something about exiting. He found out this trick where it like kills you and you exit at the same time. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I appreciate little joke endings like that. One thing I didn't notice is those like, well, I did know this, but I didn't think about is those little plants. Um, like really cool. Oh, there's sprites just reflected by or like rotated 90 degrees. Oh, that's really nice. And like just those little sprites like enhance the feeling of this map significantly. Like just adding this little bit of green is huge. I definitely want to add a bit more foliage. I know in the maps and resources there's a link to like these trees that are models, but I don't know how to implement models yet. Again, because I'm just speed mapping, but um, I'm gonna have to learn that. So, yeah, that was awesome, obviously. So let's go to the next map, Negative Impulse, skill 1, and restart. Okay, so, okay, this is ish. Gosh, okay, can't move, can't move. You see all these goodies, and that appears, and you're like, what the hell? Right? And then you're dropped in this pit you can't get out of, and then these like really mean puppies like come in like one by one, and it's like, all right, it's just puppies, but it's like, oh wait, oh my god, oh shoot, I died because of like mostly because of puppies, and I think that's really great. I think puppies are underutilized. Um, I mean, I have to remember that they're like zombie puppies because like before I knew they're like undead zombie puppies, I was like so sad about like having to kill these like beautiful creatures, right? Like I love well, I was gonna say I love Rottweilers. I love all dogs. Um, I'm kind of mad at Poodles because they like, I don't know if it's the case anymore, but they won like way too many like dog grooming competitions, and it's just like, ugh, it was just unfair to all the other breeds. So, but I think I'm okay with Poodles now. Um, I think people have, I've been saying that for years, but oh gosh, oh no 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 no. Please don't murder me. Well, that's their wish as well, right? But they're not making it easy for me. Um, but yeah, like one of my thoughts would be like a map where it's really dark and you only have an axe and there's puppies. Like that would be really scary. Um, but I'm a pacifist. Like I have a lot of ideas that are not pacifist, and I'm challenging myself to keep everything pacifist. So I'm not gonna do it. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's a thought I had. Um, well, anyways, like this map is just so punishing. Like I'm gonna run away because like I can't deal with this right now. Oh my god. Like this map is absurd. Like it's just so punishing. Um, and it's one of those maps where like I hate it, but like, well, to be fair, I don't like the word hate. But what I mean by hate is like a playful thing. Like I que la fregada, you know. Like como friegas, like you're getting on my nerves. That was some butchered Spanish. Sorry. Um, but yeah, like that's one thing I really really loved about this map. It's just like I'm not okay. I'm getting stuck there. Yeah, one thing is like I'm not great at Quake. Like I'm pretty good. Um, wait, how do I get out of here? Am I just like doing it at the wrong angle? Um, what's going on? Um, okay, I don't know what I was doing. Um, that's what I mean by like, I would probably be good at testing because I miss like, oh shoot, I miss like obvious clues sometimes. Oh my gosh. Okay, thanks for jumping down so I can easily dispose of you. Um, yeah, I miss lots of cues pretty easily, so yeah, I've always been like kind of like hesitant to playtest because of the fact that I like to be surprised when I open up a new map pack, but I'm starting to think like more and more like I should be okay with like sacrificing like that sort of surprise, right? Like I'm here to help out the community. Um, okay, sorry. I was trying to like figure out what was happening. Um, so like I am open to doing more. Oh, shh! I can't believe it. Yeah, I should be open to more playtesting. I should be less selfish about it. So I guess I will do that. Um, but yeah. Um, oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not talking so I can deal with this. All right. So even this is on easy skill. Um, yeah, I'm having like a tough go at this. Um, it said gold key revealed. All right, there we go. But yeah, this is a really awesome map because it's so. Um, see, I already forgot where this. Huh, I wonder how you get up there. Um, I think I did get that armor last time, and I don't think it happens yet. No, I don't want to go there. Yeah, and I did like how punishing it was because going back to what I was saying, I'm not super the gold key door was right here. I'm not super like amazing at Quake, but I think I'm pretty good where I don't have trouble with it most of the time. Like, again, I do save scum a bunch, like just because like I don't want to replay things, but I'm not like terrible, I would say. Like, it's the only game that I would say I'm decent at. I might have just like canceled out like saying the being good thing by saying the save scumming thing, but whatever. I'm fine with that. Again, like, skill, who cares? Enjoyment's what matters. Alright. There we go. So, but like, yeah, this map I had a lot of trouble with, but I definitely persevered and made it through. Oh, there you are. Definitely you should never feel bad about hurting zombies because they are undead. And they definitely don't have feelings. Oh, there you are. Like, I shouldn't feel bad about, like, any form of murder in here, again, because they're just, like, simulated polygons and stuff like that. But I'm, like, overly empathetic. So, I have a hard time eating animal crackers, to be honest. It's just weird to me. Yeah, I'm a very, very sensitive boy, and that's something I'm proud of. Oh, that's right. This happens. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do this. Save. And what happens? Oh, was it this area that was unchained? Oh. Yeah, that was not the most useful pentagram. Picked up at the end, 100% on this map. Love this map. Love this map. Love how it just like throws me against the wall and just is ruthless. I want to see more of that. I want to see like more really intense maps. Again, I'm not interested in like super challenge, but once in a while, I think it's great to have that. All right. Next level, residual blight. Skill 1, restart. And this is by Ionous. Residual blight. What a wonderful name. Blight means like, I don't know what blight means actually. But residual. It's funny how like Quake prompts us to use like these sort of like 25-cent words, right? I'm by no means like making fun of anyone who uses them, but like that's sort of the canon that's been established. Like, because we have levels called the Dismal Oubliette. Oubliette's not a very common word, but the fact that like that was pretty intense. The fact that like it wouldn't establish the canon of these map names, like having these like really interesting titles, like using Latin and such, like it prompts us to use them, right? I think that's pretty interesting. Like no one tells us to use these titles, but that's kind of the tone that Quake gives off. Maybe it's because the whole like element of fantasy, interdimensional travel, and this feeling of like if you use like everyday quotidian words. Quotidian's one of my favorite words because it means like everyday average, but it's like a big word, which I find kind of funny. So yeah, maybe it's the precedence of like the ultra dimensional that makes us have all these like I'm not gonna lie, pretty badass sounding names. And yes, I did say badass because like again, like just because I'm making a note of it, doesn't mean I'm making fun of it. I'm just like questioning, like, why are we doing this, right? It just makes sense within the canon of Quake and um, the establishments, um, and that's kind of one thing I wanted. Oh, whoopsie daisy. I want to like personally like break from that canon quite a bit, because like most maps are pretty similar that they're dark, right? And the thing is, like, I will never get tired of it. Like, I will never get tired of Quake. Like, I play Quake like almost every day for like a couple years, which is like nothing compared to most people I know. But I have an extremely short attention span, and oh boy, this is a hairy situation, eh? Um, and yeah, again, like I'll never get tired of Quake's aesthetics. Um, I'll probably have to like make a whole another video playthrough of it in order to really do it. But like this Ionous map is like very standard fare from what we expect from a Quake map. Again, like I am not complaining at all, and um, the reason I'm not complaining is because it's a damn good map. It looks beautiful. It's gorgeous. Um, Ionous knows what the heck they're doing. Um, I've been enjoying their maps this whole time. So like I'm not complaining at all. It's just a realm that I feel like other people have a better handle on, and it's just generally not my art style. Um, I do love like dark, weird, abstract stuff quite a bit. Like my skate park was unusually dark for my style, but I absolutely love it, and that's like a different part of me that doesn't come out too much. Don't worry, it's not about depression or anything, um, but like I just feel like another reason I want to do pacifist maps is because like truth be told, I don't feel this way anymore, but I was like definitely intimidated by like how good mappers were, and I was like, what am I gonna add to this community? I don't feel like I could add anything like interesting, new. Quake has been going on for 24 years. Like, really, what do I have to add to this? Which is a load of BS because, of course, people have their own spin on things. Like, um, I'm sure there's been a map jam where we everyone like remixes a map or something like that, or has the same base and remixes it. And yeah, that like I haven't seen a map jam like that. If someone can point me towards one of those, I would be very grateful. Um, but I think like if like when you have a map like that or like a template like that, they're all going to be interesting and different, right? Unless it's like purposely boring. Um, but even I know y'all are gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but like I do find value in Anoxia, that map. Like I kind of love it a lot, which I know is like an extremely unpopular opinion, but I am the type of person I don't care what's unpopular or not. Um, but essentially, what I'm trying to say with this like map is like again, it's like standard Quake fare, but like I eat it up. Like if there's no new maps like this coming out ever, I would be really sad. Um, and it's and I should point out too the fact that like I have a short attention span when it comes to like ideas and maps and stuff like that. So like another thing I want to say about that is like people who can stick with the style for a long time, like I give a lot of props to that because that's something I can't do. I'm too impatient. I'm definitely a jack of all trades, master of none type of person. Even my teaching job, when it comes, I've only been doing it for like 4 years, but even um, like I teach Photoshop and Illustrator, like even though like I'm an expert and I can teach everything fine, like like I'll see videos and I'm like, oh my god, I know nothing. But again, like I'm comparing myself to other people who are probably specializing in things, right? So like again, I think that's a problem with Quake mappers. I talked to someone who's part of a different community um, this week about Quake mapping, and they're like too afraid to map with Quake because the level of mapping so high. And I just told them like I felt the same way. Just do it and just see what happens. People like our community is super supportive, especially um, like I felt pretty supported even though I know I'm doing kind of bizarre stuff. Um, so like I'm very grateful for our community. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making maps. But back to this map. Okay, the space here feels so much larger than it actually is. Like the way Ionous use the layout is frankly brilliant. Um, like when you're at one of these vantage points, like this expanse looks infinite. Like it could go on forever that way. And when you circle around, I'm not really paying attention to there, but that still looks kind of far. Um, but yeah, and then you go down the level and there's like, oh wow, there's another layer to this. So the way like layering happens here is just like subtle. It's not subtle because like you can obviously see it there, but like it's done in a way where it's not obvious like how supremely crafted this is. Right? I think it's just awesome. Plus like I mean this might be standard to have like these metal arches, um, arch trims like along this brick texture or whatever. Gorgeous. Like I just love it. It looks great. The lighting's awesome. Again, like I'm a sucker for the quick aesthetic, and this is done extremely well. So, thank you for this map. This was a treat. Okay, Nightmarish Abyss. Okay, let me take a drink of my apple juice. Oh, it's this map. Oh my god. Hardcore Mazu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Whew, boy. Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit I had to go on God mode when I was playing on hard. Um, this JCR was playing last night, and he said it was not unfair. Um, I wouldn't say it's unfair. Maybe I'm just not good at the type of encounter that was presented when you get the grenade launcher and silver key, or I believe. So let's check this out. Okay. First of all, um, we come into this map looking at this glowing texture. Establishes a precedent, right? Right away that we have this texture we see right here that we don't usually see. Pentagrams, familiar, of course. Um, no going back. Well, SHIT. Okay, so obviously we have to go forward. Oh, I forgot about this first part. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Gorgeous sky. I love a natural colored skies so much. It just again, it's a simple thing, but it just blows me away that like we're capable of doing this. Love the sky. Love these nasty silhouettes. What I mean by nasty, it's like a really good thing. Just like, love it. Um, and then we have this little scene here, which is at first it's like, oh, just a crucified zombie, but I'm sorry, my friend, and that becomes a little bit tragic. Um, and it's like, that is kind of sad. And well, at least I was gonna say, and you gain empathy for the zombies. Well, maybe I do, because I'm a soft boy. But um, yeah, I love that. Um, lo- this definitely feels very Doomish to me. Um, There's a specific map pack. Secret Me. Um, yeah, his name is, I think it's JXT. I can't remember his Twitter handle. But he or the map pack name. But he did like an outdoor area with like that looked kind of similar to this, and it was beautiful. Um, but yeah, now I'm just kind of waffling. Home Sweet Home. So yeah, what a weird transition from this nightmarish scene um, to a nice, comforting little house with flashing pentagrams. That's just lovely. Um, yeah, honestly, like no offense to HCM, but I probably wouldn't want to live here. This bed doesn't look too comfy, but I appreciate the effort. Ooh boy. Fight right away. Okay. These little little fellas here. Let me dispose of them. I shouldn't say dispose of them like they're trash. They're combatants. They're my opponents. Um, I want to think of them as worthy, even though they're like severely underpowered compared to me. I don't want to like diminish their stature, you know. Okay, so this is predictable for me to say, but love this blood on the floor. Like you don't see blood pools every day. Um, love it, love it, love it. Especially when combined with this rock texture. Gorgeous. All right. I remember that wizard was there because I died at this next part a couple times, and I had to restart. Okay, I could just go down. Oh, that's why. I was like, I forgot what was here. Uh, then the angry puppy comes. Alright. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've been like trying to start infighting a bit too early lately. That's been a recent downfall. That's alright. Oop. Good aim, Ogre. Well, I mean, that's controlled by algorithms or whatever, so I shouldn't be too surprised, but that was nice. Now let me kill you for a job well done. That sounds fair. Stair builders. I don't know if that's a really easy thing to do. Oh, sorry. Um, throat was drying out, so I gotta get some liquids into my system. I don't know how long this stream has been. I'm gonna play all the way through though, because I'm really into this. This is a lot of fun. So that knight that popped behind, Doom 3 style monster closet type of thing, awesome because that doesn't happen every encounter. I think having one of those monster clouds once in a while is great because it's like, again, not very common in Quake. Um, I think I read like something about encounter design about like how that's kind of cheap. I don't. It is if it's like used as a trope often, but like once in a while where it's not overused, like go for it, right? Mix up the different encounters. Okay, I thought they were infighting, so I was ignoring them. Alright, so let me spike these handsome men. And yes, I do really think these knights are handsome. I really like love the aesthetics of armor and such. SHAT. SHAT. Okay, that was not on the plan. Alright, so let's... That was probably foolish to do that right now. Maybe that... Maybe that... Yeah, so what I was trying to say, maybe this quad damage made this room possible, which is... I didn't get that when I was playing on hard, maybe because it's not available, and maybe that's why I died so much. Just... yeah, so I oh, there we go. So I do... I guess I'm ambivalent about the ability to drop down, like, and just have that happen to you. It feels like Turok, but, like, without the consequences, right, of, like, instant death. I'm not really a fan of instant death, to be honest. No offense to anyone who uses that, but it's just not really my thing. Because it's 3D platforming, you know. To be fair, I love 3D platforming when it works and I'm successful. But when it's not, I don't like it as much, which might seem like a silly thing to say. But, like, one of the reasons I love 3D games is to have I love 3D space so much. Like, the fact that we can project this, like 3D space onto a 2D plane is beautiful to me. Okay. I was talking about that in my stream earlier about perspective. Ooh, I exploded that spidery gal. Yeah, so Quake for me is mostly about the atmosphere and architecture and just like the overall tone of it. It's less about challenge. But so I'm not like, so what I'm saying is like 3D platforming and using like different spaces like this, I love it, especially since it's something like I don't want in real life, right? I don't want like gigantic drops in my everyday life and having to traverse them and die if I don't do it correctly. So yeah, like I'm a huge fan of it, but like I'm not great at it. So it's kind of a silly thing to say, but I do love and hate it at the same time. I don't hate it. I will never hate it. That's just a mean thing to say. Okay. Ooh, I love this room. This is definitely a monster infighting room. But yeah, this map is definitely like possible in one shot on normal. I think skill 1 is normal, right? Yeah. We'll say yeah. Okay, I guess I can get the quad. And then force some of these beings to perish. This is one of those instances where after I beat it, I reloaded the save right before and replayed it because it's just so satisfying. Let's grenade you. I know it's ineffective, but it was fine. Yeah, that was nice since it was on easy. Oh, look at this exit. That's creepy. This little like fleshy. Well, I read this as flesh. I can sometimes misinterpret things, but yeah, that's really creepy and nice. I love it. All right. So yeah, beautiful level, gorgeous. Well, I guess this ogre is trying to kill the intermission camera. Sorry. Alright, so Casa Caverna. Who is this? Let me guess. Greenwood? Yeah, Greenwood. Um, Greenwood, if you're reading this, I'm gonna forget to ask. I'm curious if you speak Spanish. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm just curious about like people in general, but like, oh, that's cool to have like a Spanish um, name for a map. I don't know. I'm Mexican American, but my mom never taught me Spanish, and I always like kind of dog her for that. I only know a few things, but it's nice to like see Spanish. It's like comforting. Um, I moved from a mostly Spanish-speaking town to an extremely white city in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. Um, and like so, hearing like Spanish is just like really comforting, even though I don't know it. Like just hearing it or seeing it is just like a really nice feeling. Um, so even though it's just like the title of this, like it's nice. It makes me feel good, and I really appreciate that. So I recently played a map where it's just like, um, I think it's like a medieval theme, and then these enforcers pop up, and it's like, who are these guys? Um, I thought that was really funny. Um, I forgot what map that is, but love that bit. Love that bit. And that's one of the reasons like I do want to do um pardon me, these streams is because like there's a lot of little details I miss in the written reviews. Oh boy, I forgot about this bad mama jamma. Yeah, I miss a lot of like the subtleties in the written reviews. Like I absolutely enjoy writing. Um, and I do like writing reviews. I do a lot of recommendations of tiny indie games. But yeah, like I forget like the subtleties that happen. Um, like for example, oh my god, that's awesome. A portrait of Shub Nagureth, or however you pronounce her name. Um, and like, okay, so this is kind of funny, but not funny, not haha funny, peculiar, I guess. Um, but my least favorite maps are base maps because they're like kind of normal. Like they're the most like human like things, right? And plus, I have like former human creatures. I can't play any games where you kill humans. This is okay because they're like undead, but I'd rather not. I don't like base enemies. Plus, like the hit scan enemies, I don't like at all. Like in That's one reason I like. One of the many reasons I prefer Quake over Doom is there's only one hit scan enemy, and I don't like the enforcers. They're kind of like too much effort. And like they're not satisfying to kill. Plus, again, I don't like killing like humanoid creatures because I'm a sensitive, overly empathetic boy. Or is it emphatic? I don't know. Um, so like yeah, like base creatures are my least favorite. Um, and what I was going with that is like I don't really like normal human stuff, but when you put like a house, something that's like Quake is clearly not built to, um, or intended to create like domestic architecture, right? It's like too chunky for that. But it's being done here, and it creates this really weird sense, and I love that. I love that so much, um, and it's beautiful. Like, oh my God, what a gorgeous painting this is. Um, I don't know, but oh boy. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, no, it's nothing. But yeah, I usually don't like normal looking places, but when it's used in Quake and like even Doom, like for my house.wad maps, um, I think they're fun. right? Because like they're knowingly kind of goofy. Oh, jeez. Because of the fact that like you can't really make really accurate representations of houses. I use the word instead of saying houses, I use the word heist, like mouses and mice. You know, I have a weird relationship with words. Anyways, um, so yeah, I normally don't like maps like this, but um, I adore this map a lot. Um, this can't be it, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, of course, this surprise encounter. Um, which is funny. I'm just gonna run away. um, Let me restart and fly around it. Yeah, I really and then no target. So I really love this map because I'm not sure if I'm using this correctly. Cause there's this term called Doom cute, which is like the Doom equivalent of cute, like putting like real life like stuff into like Doom maps, and you could say like this is like Quake cute, which doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely, but yeah, I really love it. It's like a weird sense of the uncanny, where it's like familiar because it's a household, but it's like just different, like just weird and different enough. Like it's not very often I see decor like this, right? Um, and so I applaud these sort of decisions to make these like really goofy maps, especially like look at this map and look at its surroundings. It's not what I'd call your typical neighborhood. Um, Hopefully, so like it's fun because of the fact, like one of the reasons it's fun is because um, like it's Quake, so you can get away with this. If this was like The Sims, then it would be a bit different contextually, right? But since this is Quake and we're used to like hellscapes, um, it's not too crazy, but at the same time, like it's still a house, and that's really weird in Quake, and that's just beautiful. So thank you Greenwood for that map. Um, yeah, great stuff. All right. I didn't see the name. Okay, this is Dante. Um, Scanline Dante. All right. So, um, little secret here. Dante made this game called Utopias, and it's incredible. Um, so what I have to do is like adjust my expectations of like it's it's Quake. It's not these like really psychedelic glitchy spaces that Dante is making. I absolutely adored the Utopias game. Highly recommend playing it. Highly recommend it. Um, and so it's sort of like interesting to see like I'm actually not sure which of the maps Dante made for. Hi, that's cute. I'm not sure which of the maps for Utopias Dante made, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, but like I gotta remember to not like think like okay, this is like gonna be like a Utopia's map. It's more like a classical um, Quake style map, and so I gotta adjust my expectations. Um, so this is like kind of normal looking, right? But it's it's weird. Like look at this. You start off here. You have these stairs going down, and like, what is this space? This makes no sense. Of course, it's quick, so you could get away with abstract stuff, And this is like on the edge of, I would say like it's within the blurry line of being um, within like abstract and like you're able to accept it sort of abstract and just like what's going on kind of abstract. So it falls within this like um, weird section of like, oh, I don't know how this makes me feel. Which if if it wasn't obvious by now, like I love unreality, I love weird stuff, um, and this is like again, this is like kind of using standard textures that are expected, but like the way the architecture is built is like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, um, and that's awesome. And I'm glad the Quake community embraces that, because what's the point of making sense all the time? Oh, that scared me. I don't have to worry. Oh, okay. Now I have to worry about them. And I love how like we're teased with like these stairs, but we can't do it yet. And we have these like um, mean puppies, like these flesh puppies or whatever. Gorillas, they're gorillas. These flesh gorillas, or chimps. I don't know. Um, like you just see them waiting in there for you, and I was just like, okay, like I'll deal with them later. But like you're like, oh, shit, I'm gonna have to deal with these like scary creatures. Um, and yeah, I thought that was like a really that was no, that wasn't my favorite part about this. But my favorite part uh, is actually, oh boy, I forgot about that. Um, Yikes. Okay, let me destroy the spider. Or I could get destroyed, rather. Did I save? Okay, I saved. Um, yeah, so that was obviously effective. um, but yeah, like again, like the architecture here is like again straddles like okay, this is normal Quake stuff, but also like it's in the weird territory. I mean, but then again, like, and this is something I've thought about like quite a lot is like the maps in Quake, the id1 maps, they're made like specifically for you, the ranger, the Quake ranger, to like travel through, right? Like, cause these creatures can't press these buttons, these creatures can't collect the health, so they're obviously made for you. And like these structures are just like inherently weird. Oh, this is not pleasant. Um, and that's beautiful, right? I say right as if like I'm asking you to agree with me, but okay. um, shit. All right, so now I'm gonna save. Um, yeah, I think there could be a little more color, but maybe that's just my bias towards like love, my extreme love of color. I'm okay. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna get rid of you. Gosh dang, gosh dang, gosh dang. Yeah, I need to be okay with like not talking when I do something. Because I'm an instructor, and although I do give a lot of like free time to work and is quiet, whenever it's lecture time and I'm trying to think of something, I'm trying to be okay with um, having silence, so it's okay. So this isn't my favorite part right here, but something about like this, I don't know what they're called on like castles, but having this like little castle thing like pop out, and like it's small enough where you can just run over them. I don't know. It's something like like not aesthetically is not the word, but like how it feels to run over it feels really nice. Now we have this room that's split in two, um, so you know like something's going down. Okay, that was a bit easier than hard, I think. Um, Actually, that was kind of interesting. Okay, so it's interesting because I assume like a giant fight and I'd have to run away down here. And now it's like, oh no, it's just two guys. Um, and then we have this part. Um, well, I recently played a game with something similar. It wasn't Quake. Um, I can't remember, but it had this. Oh, Super Skullomania, which is like a Metroidvania where you play as a skeleton. It had this sort of structure where like there's this big drop, but like the sides where the platforms where you could like fall down slowly. Something about that design is like really cool because it's like scary and there's like so much risk to it. Um, and I think it's called Fire Top Mountain that has something similar in the 80 map pack. I'm not too sure. Um, but there's lava for sure, and it has a blue fog, and it's gorgeous. Obviously, it's AD. Um, yeah, I really like that structure a lot. It's just kind of like forces you to make decisions. Um, oh, and sometimes I'm uncomfortable making decisions like that, and like it's real. Okay, let me this polar bear. Okay, this is my favorite part of the map. This little goalpost or whatever you call it. Um, I don't know what it is about it, but something about this is just really beautiful. Um, I guess it's just the way it glows, and this is shrouded in darkness, and this is just like beautifully glowing. Something about the shape too, I really like. But let's look up. Look at that beautiful architecture. Yeah, that's just gorgeous. It's sort of like ooh secret. Oh yeah, I did get that secret last time when I played it. But it's like it also reminds me of those books where like the pages are cut in the middle and there has a shape where you look through them. That's what this kind of reminds me of too. Except this has more murder in it. Who knows? Those books might have a bunch of murder, but yeah, like the way Dante uses um, the geometry brushes and like the spaces. I think that's the strongest point for me as far as his maps are concerned. Just like again, like somewhere between like taking it for granted, but also it's weird. Um, I think that's a really great space to inhabit. Okay. Next map. Okay, only 3 more maps to go. My voice is going, but I'm dedicated to doing this. Restart. This is by Chris Holden. Um, I think Chris Holden made Green Hail, which is one of the first uses of Makon's textures that I saw. It would be kind of embarrassing if that wasn't the case, of Chris Holden being the author of Green Hail. But yeah, Chris Holden makes great maps, blah blah blah, we know this already. Really nice use of the texture. Okay, let me destroy, okay. Alright. So I'm a huge fan of open spaces and Quake. Because it's so much different than the id one, and like, yeah, let's do something. I don't know if it was like impossible, but something like that probably wasn't healthy for Quake. I'm guessing because of engine limits back in '96. I don't know. But it's really good to see like bigger, expansive areas like this, especially when there's like lights coming out and there's a gradient, which I talked about earlier. Okay, so that's a zombie. I thought that was a baby knight. Oh yeah, these fellas don't. Oh, they do infight. Okay. Okay. So this map, I did get lost quite a bit. Again, because of the fact that like I have a really terrible memory. So the reason I'm saying this is because don't be surprised if that happens here. It's something I definitely take responsibility for, getting lost, like, very easily. Okay, and that's another reason I wanted to play this before I did the second playthrough stream, is because I wouldn't like wait. I'm not gonna say waste time because that's demeaning. Um, I didn't want to like spend too much time like looking around, um, if other people are gonna watch this. Of course, there's always a fast forward button, um, but still like if Chris Holden watches this, like I don't want him to like be watching me stumble around. Um, that's not fun for anybody. Alright, let these buddies fight. But absolutely love the architecture here. I don't know if like you would call these outdoor areas like architecture or like just natural formations or whatever. Um, I like this vista. So what's interesting about this is that this is all organic except for right here. Well, mostly organic because we have the steps, of course. Even those have some organic shapes to it. But like this is just like, okay, what's going on here? So it makes it made I was gonna say makes you it made me think a little bit differently. Like, okay, something's like up with that. I know what's happening there, so uh, I'm not gonna spoil it. Like if you're watching this stream before you watch this, like you're just spoiling it for yourself. So I shouldn't worry about it. Um, so okay. I love like thin stairs like this for some reason. Aesthetically pleasing to me. Um, this bit kind of scared me because it was in shadow and I didn't know if there were stairs there. Um, it sounds weird, but I like that. I like the feeling of not knowing quite a bit. That's one of my favorite things when it comes to video games. Just like not knowing what's gonna happen. Okay, this is So this led me to here. This is where I just came from. Let's say I want to go this direction. Yeah. Shortcut platform activated. I think maybe this could use like more landmarks. Oh boy. Because yeah, I mean, this does look kind of homogeneous, which like makes sense for the terrain we're in, right? So like I think it could use a little bit of more landmarking or using weenies. So there's like secrets there, but it took me a few tries to get the jump, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Like this is a great section because again we were like over there and now we're here. I feel like there's yeah, there could be a couple more landmarks to differentiate areas. So there's ammo given, so what's gonna happen next? I forgot about that one. Let's see if we can get some infighting. I could go to the exit, but I won't. I exploded that handsome boy. Yeah, I really love these lava pools. These like little lava pools. I don't know if that makes sense, like geologically or whatever the field of study would be, but yeah, pretty cool. I know what's gonna happen, but it makes me want to like test it to dive in, but there's nothing that's gonna happen. I mean, maybe one of these pools has a secret. No, there's no secrets in this map. But it's just like tempting. I don't know. Yeah, I really like this map quite a bit. Circular outdoor areas, like a little bit confusing, but as long as I'm not having a horrible time, I love that. So yeah, good job. All right. So, oh, this map. Let's go one. Okay, so this is Lux Nocturnal by Comrade Beep. Oh my god, breathtaking. Extremely pretty map, like straight off the bat, like holy cow. I'm a sucker for I mean like Chris Holden, right? Like we had this like big outdoor area with lots of shadows. I mean lots of irregularity, organic shapes. Um, I'm a sucker for the blue lighting though. And there's a puppy. Let's collect this. I'm not sure if that's like the way that was meant to be taken, but that's what I did the first time as well, which I didn't realize. But also, I kind of knew that there's treats back here. Because I discovered the grenade launcher like after pretty much the level was done. So I heard a puppy. No puppy. I think what I like about this aesthetically is that is that there is the blue fog, which is a nice like ever-present contrast between the level, like the rest of the map, and like it happens everywhere. It's omnipresent, right? So we're always gonna have this blue fog. So there's not many cool colors like blue, greens, purples in this map. So we're always gonna have this sort of contrast, and that's just gorgeous to me. Also, I don't know how to strafe jump yet. Consistently. Which, like, I'm not embarrassed about, but I'm just really confused on, like, the timing. I think it works, like, maybe a third of the time. But, yeah. Oh, God, look at the, like, cast shadow there. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. I don't have a... Oh, I made a mistake. Oh boy. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna God. Just to get out of here. Because I don't want to, like, do the whole, like, restart thing. Wait, did I turn God off? Okay, there we go. Yeah, because it's not really fun watching someone die on stream. Holy crap, look at these cast shadows. Jesus. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Again, I'm pretty easily impressed, but that's not to discredit anyone. I guess that just means like I'm a good audience if you make like stuff with interesting color choices. Ah, screw it. I'm just gonna do this. Again, like I done this. I assume like most people aren't gonna watch like this whole stream, just like their bits of it or whatever. So earlier I said like I don't care about like I played my first 3 playthrough for cheating, but I don't care about cheating. Like whatever, like do whatever you want that makes you happy. Um, when I play, I don't like to put on cheats. I save scum a lot because I don't like replaying sections over. I'm not a huge fan of like challenge. I'm more of a fan of atmosphere and experiencing something weird. Um, so yeah, cheating for me is like a non-issue. Um, I want to look at this. Oh my god, gorgeous. Yeah, if this was a human, I would definitely kiss this. Oh, I missed like a whole section here. When I did play this regular, I did get it. I am gonna zip though, zip to the next map, just because like my throat's drying. Yeah, I am an instructor and I do teach, but I usually teach for like an hour to like an hour and a half at a time, with like lots of little breaks for like exercises. Okay, but before that, the exit, gorgeous. Using lava texture that glows off and on like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. So that was a great level, just like the rest of them. Last one is Discovery by Artistical. It should be. Hold on. It shouldn't be a. Yeah, I'm gonna like just kind of skip the story because it's something that like y'all should experience on your own. But yeah, like it shouldn't. What I'm saying is, I shouldn't be a secret that Artistical's like my favorite mapper, just because he brings out like so many like interesting concepts. Um, like anytime there's a speed map and there's no artistical, I get kind of sad. Um, so like yeah, there's this like weird narrative going on here. Where underground, blah blah blah. Oopsie daisies. Um, and it's not your typical like story fair. A because it's Quake. Um, B because I don't know. I don't have another reason for it. It's just like interesting and different, right? I mean, I guess partially because like it's a first-person shooter, you don't really expect much. There's like, I guess, the story of like you're sent to this like cavern or whatever, and you have to like these people are ordering you to like do something and then we'll let you go. I would say that's not like a novel concept, but I really like the way it's implemented. And when I say it's not a novel concept, that's like not a diss at all because like things that happen more than once like happen more than once for a reason, right? Because they're interesting, they're like provoking. Um, so you're meant to feel kind of like this inferior being, um, like you're forced to do this job, otherwise you'll die. Which, in my opinion, is not a very pleasant thing. Um, so we have this like very interesting narrative map by Artistical. Um, I'll just finish this. So we have this, and then the Shambler disappears. So like, if you saw, I had um, 3 save slots. I was testing how the Shambler disappears. I thought like, oh, what an interesting decision. Um, Weird. And so like that kind of like screwed with me. And that there it goes again. So the first time I did that, or first time I played this, like I was kind of foolish in the sense where I would just like I was like cherry picking the Shambler from here. So I'd have to argue that like if something could be done, I'd rather like I think it would be good to like lock these doors so you wouldn't like honestly I feel like I kind of ruined my own experience there. Um I mean probably something you can't always predict, but like there's people like me who are just like can be overly cautious. Also, this is kind of dark, and having to shoot the shotgun to like light it up is not great. Um, and then I died. Um, so like, there we go. Ah, okay, hold on. I accidentally did that. Sorry. Going back to this. Oh, I keep on pressing F10 instead of F9. So yeah, I do wish like there was better lighting. I thought that was really cool that the Shambler disappeared, but again, I tried to cherry pick the Shambler, and I ended up dying the first time, so I just assumed they're regular Shamblers. But I don't know if there's an actual solution to that because like players are gonna do their own thing and like find a way to sort of mess up that encounter. Um, so we go here, and then we have this like really weird, like whoa, we were in like this cavern, the space where they're doing research or something. I knew you would come. We have zero idea. Well, I have zero idea of what's happening now. Like this is the exit, but it's just like okay, like a twist at the end where we're given no answers. I dig that. And I'm the type of person where I don't want to know anything more. Like I just want to be like okay with not knowing what the hell is going on, and be like weirded out. Um, but I also just love like free floating platforms and geometry like this. Um, so yeah. Again, Artistical makes maps I really, really, really love. Um, I, I'm glad there's like people doing weird stuff in Quake. Um, I would definitely say Artistical paved the way for me doing stuff. Like, I mean, I would have done stuff anyways, but Artistical has definitely like set a precedent of like someone active in the current Quake community, like doing weird things. So thank you. Um, so that's it for this map jam. I'm all pooped out from talking. Um, I hope this was valuable in some sense. That's the reason I'm doing this. Um, like part of the reason I'm doing this is to like give back to the community, and I'll probably say this every stream, um, because like it's been such an awesome, wonderful community, and I wasn't sure how I would give back, so circumstances led me to trying this out. So I'm trying this out. If you have any like feedback on like if this was helpful or not, um, yeah, feel free to let me know. So yeah, that's a bit it. That's about it. Um, all right, thanks. Love you all. Enjoy. Toodles.